Hey, what's going on everyone? It's Ted Carr here. Just checking in with you guys, letting you know how the Canada Fruit Festival went last week. It was amazing. A hit. It was fantastic. We had the highest point, we had over 250 people there, and we had some amazing volunteers, we had some amazing musicians, we had fantastic presenters, and really good food, top quality food. We had the best local organic peaches, the best local organic cherries, the best local organic plums. We had really primo fruit. We had some fantastic dates as well, and we had some really good greens, some really good celery, and I think everyone who came to the festival had a good time. I've been asked, as you might imagine, Ted, how did the festival go? And the first thing I say is, it went well. Nobody got hurt, nobody got extremely upset, nobody left angry. I think everyone who came to the festival had a really good time. And at the same time, I think that there were a lot of things that the festival could have done better and will do better for next year. And so in this video, I just want to kind of do a bit of a self-roast and just point out some of the flaws in the festival, while at the same time letting everyone know what we did really well. So where to begin? I took some notes here, so don't forget anything. But the first thing right off the bat, in general, and I don't want to make excuses for why these things didn't happen. There's really no excuse why these things happened. They should have been taken care of, and they just weren't. And I think it's natural that we get better as we go on with things. The more times we do something, the better we get at it. You know, your first time riding a bike, you fall over a few times. Your first time walking, you fall over a few times. The first time you enter a relationship with someone, you might make a few mistakes, and looking back in hindsight, you think, oh, so dumb, I shouldn't have done that. So that's exactly what's happening here. Looking back at all these mistakes that we made or all the things we could have done better, it's really obvious to me now and our team that, you know, these were things that really should have been taken care of, but they just weren't. And it all comes from awareness. All improvement comes from awareness. So in this video, I'm going to shed some light on some things that we are now aware of and some things that we really want to improve on for next year. So the first thing is, before the festival even happened, we had some inconsistencies with the branding, I guess. You know, this logo that we're wearing now is very different from the very first logo we ever released. And our music posters that we released with the full lineup of all the bands and all the presenters, those two posters are very different from the first few posters that we released. So we had some inconsistencies there with the branding, kind of confused people. A lot of people were confused as to whether it's called the Canadian Fruit Fest or Canada Fruit Fest or the Great Canadian Fruit Fest. And while that might seem pretty minor, when you're trying to brand a festival, you're trying to brand an event, it's important to keep things really consistent across the board. So going into 2019, we're going to go back to the drawing board and come up with a solid brand image, a solid identity that we can stick with throughout the year. That's the first mistake, really, just inconsistent branding and display image of the company, of the event. The second thing is, some things that actually mattered more to the attendees, to the people interested in coming to the event, was our lack of customer support. Really, the only people we had doing customer support was myself, and then Ronnie was helping process a few of the refunds. But I personally, one of my ultimate weaknesses is replying to emails quickly. I will sometimes not reply to emails for a long time, maybe a week, and then someone replies back again saying, hey, you didn't get back to my last email, what's up, blah, blah, blah. And I still might not reply. So customer support is definitely my weak point, but I did my best to overcome that. I did my best to reply to as many emails as I could. Probably responded to, I could just check my email, like 500 emails over the couple months leading up to the festival. But next year we definitely need more customer support. We need a couple people doing all the emails, a couple people answering all the questions. I think one thing that the Woodstock Fruit Festival does really well is they have amazing customer support. Ann Osborne and Yulia and Mike, they're all really good at getting back to emails really quickly. And so I think Canada Fruit Fest could really benefit from adopting that style of speedy customer support. And that's just what we got to do. That's what we'll do going into this next year, into 2019. So that's the first thing, second thing, I guess, lack of customer support. The third thing that we really could have done better on was figuring out how to get the food that we're ordering overseas to the actual event. We took that for granted. We thought it would be really easy just to get some papayas from Jamaica, from Martha's Best, one of our sponsors. We thought it'd be really easy to get some fruit from Miami Fruit, one of our sponsors. But it actually proved quite difficult. Miami Fruit was only able to bring some sprouted coconuts for us. So some people on the first day were able to get some sprouted coconuts, which were really, really good, extremely top quality produce. But it just wasn't enough. We wanted a lot more produce for everyone throughout the whole festival, whether it's avocados or mangoes or mamey sapote or ackee, whatever fruit that Miami Fruit had that they were going to bring. We really should have figured that out a lot earlier on, instead of promising people we're going to have all this Miami Fruit and then none of it actually shows up except for some sprouted coconuts. So that was a bit of a letdown, but Miami Fruit's extremely apologetic about it, and I felt extremely bad about it because I thought it'd be pretty easy to organize, but it was a lot harder than we thought. So we could have risked it. We could have just shipped a whole bunch of fruit to the airport and went and picked it up, but there's a lot of red tape there, and a lot of the fruit could have gotten sent back, and that would have cost a lot of money, wasted a lot of money really. No one would have had the fruit after all if worst case scenario actually happened. So yeah, there's some Food and Drug Administration tapes and hoops that you got to get through to actually get the food to Canada. The second part of that is the Martha's Best papayas. We spoke with Martha's Best before the festival. They said they were going to ship some food and it would, arrive right at the venue, so we wouldn't have to do anything. That was fantastic, and so we're super stoked on that. And so a week before the festival, they shipped it. Day before the festival, no papayas. First day of the festival, no papayas. Second day, third day, fourth day of the festival, still no papayas. People asking, Ted, where are the papayas? And I checked the email, I checked the tracking link, and I'm like, well, it's on its way. It's supposed to be here. But it just never showed up until 2 days after the festival. I got a call from the venue saying, hey Ted, a bunch of the papayas arrived. And I mean, all the papayas arrived. And so I said, well, enjoy the papayas. Nothing we can do now. I'm heading to New York. So the venue host got a bunch of papayas. I called my uncle up. I said, hey uncle, go drive down there and get some papayas if you want any left over. And I think he did that, but I'm not sure. I have no idea what happened to the papayas. So that's a big issue, and we don't want that to happen again next year. So we're going to make sure that all the fruit arrives before the festival. Anything we're importing from out overseas, we got to make sure that's there earlier rather than later. The other thing is, the fourth thing I guess we should have done better is we should have prepared for the rain, for the rainy weather. Despite it, historically speaking, it never really rains that time of year, ever. It rains between all of July and all of August. It might rain like 2 or 3 days. And it's only for a little bit, small little showers. But this year we got hit really hard with like a big windy rainstorm, and it messed up a lot of tents, blew some tents into the lake. It got people's stuff absolutely soaked. It was just absolute torrential downpour, crazy gusts of winds blowing tents into the lake, and a lot of people's stuff got messed up, a lot of stuff got broken, and we definitely were not prepared for that. So no matter what, going into the future, even if the forecast doesn't call for rain, even if the forecast doesn't call for crazy windstorms, we've got to prepare for it no matter what. And that was just a huge blooper on our part. We just totally took the weather for granted and figured, hey, everything's going to be okay. So this year it taught us a lesson, and I'm glad it happened this first year rather than in future years when we had already put a lot more money into the event, into putting up big ornaments and paintings and more arts and crafts, stuff like that. So big lesson there. We need to have stuff in preparation for crazy weather situations like that. And yeah, just apologies to all the volunteers and all the attendees who were staying in tents, whose tents got absolutely soaked. We definitely should have had some rain gear, rain protection over those tents. The next thing we could have done better is had better signage. We did have signs on the highway going both directions, and even at the festival, at the venue, letting people where the activity tent 1, activity tent 2, where the dining hall was and everything. But I think we could have had bigger signage on the highways and more signage on the highways. We could have had bigger signage and more signage at the actual festival to make things crystal clear. So when we point to activity tent number 2 way across the field, people can look over it and see activity tent number 2, the big sign. That would have been fantastic. We also needed more signs at the lakeside, even though there was a big sign that says no lifeguard on duty, swim at your own risk. We could have had our own big sign there as well saying the same thing. Family camping area, general camping area, we could have had that. Kitchen area, could have had that. Wi-Fi signage, we could have had some Wi-Fi signage as well, letting people know there's Wi-Fi over there. But honestly, I didn't really want many people on the Wi-Fi. We had it for those who really needed it, but I didn't want to make a big advertisement about it saying, hey, here's the Wi-Fi, here's the password, use it, blah, blah, blah. Because we got the best Wi-Fi we could, but already it was pretty weak with like 30 people using it. And some people were uploading YouTube videos on it, and it was just killing the Wi-Fi for everyone else. So it went down a couple times, but at least for the most part, anyone who's using the Wi-Fi at the festival could have actually used it for their Instagram or their Facebook or their emails or their messages or their iMessages, whatever they use it for. So that was pretty great that we had that. The other thing we could have done better with was the communication between the team, like the volunteer team, the kitchen team, the drivers. It was a bit of chaos there, trying to get people on the phone, trying to text them or trying to yell for them like, hey John, or hey Aaron, or hey Ronnie, like running back and forth. I was doing a lot of running at the event. And so was John, and so had some of the other team leads, trying to find people, get people just in the nick of time. But next year would have been way better, you know, to stay calm, to stay cool, and just have a walkie-talkie and just call them up. Like, John, can you go to the kitchen? Rather than running across the field to trying to locate these people. So that would have been a good move. But again, this first year, you know, we kind of just did the absolute minimum to see what would happen, see if we can get enough people there, see if we can have a good time, despite all these lack of things that we didn't really prepare for. And turned out it was a really good festival. But these are just like some things that would have made it a lot smoother. So a couple other things we could have done is, I mean, the food is really good. A lot of people enjoyed the food, but afterwards a lot of people said that they wanted a bit more variety. And I guess I took it for granted how long I've been doing this diet, how easily satisfied I can get on just peaches and cherries. Like really good top quality peaches and cherries, and even bananas. But a lot of people said they wanted more like vegetable variety. More people said they wanted like some red peppers or some cilantro or some dill or something, or more variety in the sauces. And honestly, we didn't plan on making any sauces. There wasn't supposed to be any sauces at this festival. It was supposed to simply be, here's a bunch of fruits, here's a bunch of vegetables, pick them and eat them. But, you know, in the kitchen they were back there making sauces, and I didn't even know about it until the sauces came out. Next thing you know, at the dinner table, I see all these sauces, and I'm like, oh, who made sauces? I didn't even know we had a blender. Like, we didn't provide the kitchen with a blender or anything. It was like a volunteer who brought the blender for us. So, yeah, they just ended up making sauces. So if we're making sauces, sure, we want more variety of sauces. But the sauces, anyone who tasted the sauces at the event, they knew the sauces were really dang good. There's just lack of variety in the sauces. And again, that's something I wanted to avoid going into this festival. I didn't want a lot of variety. I just wanted top quality produce. But it turns out even if you have top quality produce, people still want variety. So next year we'll have more variety. We'll also have more dates out for people. The dates ran out. Anytime a food runs out at a festival, I'm like, that's obviously a really popular one. Let's get more of that. The dates this year were so good. They were super gooey. Next year I want to have like twice as many dates out for people to grab and eat. And more water as well. With all the date consumption that was happening, a lot of people were drinking a lot more water than anticipated. And so we ran out of water really quickly. We had Vital Water sponsoring the event. They provided us with 35 big jugs of water. All 35 big jugs of water got used up in the first day. It was absolutely insane. People, I guess it was really hot the first day, big sun, a lot of dates were out, a lot of people were eating tahini and all these, you know, dehydrating foods. So 35 jugs of water got used up, big, like, you know, 5-liter jugs of water got used up in the first day, and we ran out. And so there was a tap on site. We were refilling the bottles with that, totally fine. We could have done that, but it just didn't taste as good. So there was some complaints, some issues there. People saying, we need more water, we need more water. And finally we went to go get more water, no problem, and we loaded back up. So next year, yeah, we're going to have just way more water. Totally underestimated the amount of water people would consume at this event. And again, my mistake, I just thought everyone was kind of like me, and I don't drink much water, I just eat juicy fruit. But when you're eating dates and you're having tahini, you probably want some water, especially when it's sunny out and you're active all day, you're going around talking to a bunch of people, throat gets a bit dry, especially if there's some smoke in the air, you might feel that. So definitely important to drink a lot of water at these events. And then lastly, on the last day we had an extra day, a little bit of a mastermind group, and the first day of that, it was fantastic. Everyone got together and we learned a lot. We experienced a good coming together for the mastermind. Everyone got clear on what they want to do and mapped out a plan on how to actually achieve it, and got some resources and some ideas on how to actually take those first action steps. But then the second day of the mastermind, I was planning on leading that full day, but I had to get pulled away. I had to be the one to drive everyone to the airport. That took about 3 hours because of all the traffic and all the delays that were happening with that. And so I was away off-site for 3 hours, and by the time I got back from driving, a lot of people had already left. So the mastermind was supposed to end at 2 p.m., but a lot of people left a lot earlier because they had flights to catch, and fair enough. I just wish I was present for that day, but unfortunately, like I said, people had to catch flights, and we rented a big Sprinter van, and I was the only one who could drive that. So that should have been coordinated way, way better. The whole driving situation should have been coordinated way, way better. We didn't expect, as many people needing a ride as they did. So next year we got to have double the amount of drivers, double the amount of cars on the road, just driving people to and from the event. I think it's a great service that we offered that I don't see many other festivals offering, and I just think it's, just because no other festivals are offering it, I don't think we should not offer it. I think it's a really beneficial service. A lot of people need rides into town, either to the bus stop or to the airplane or to the airport, and I think if we can offer that service, then we'll offer it. So that was a bit of a issue this year, but next year we'll really double down on the drivers and make sure everyone's on walkie-talkies, or at least easily accessible via cell phone, so we can ring them up and say, hey, let's get this person to the airport, let's get this person to their place. Nobody really missed a flight. Nobody really missed a flight. Nobody missed a flight at all that I'm aware of. Nobody missed any buses or trains or anything due to our lack of shuttles. It was just like the chaos in organizing it was a bit hectic for the volunteer team. So that was that. Anything else on this list here? I think that's pretty much it. Next year's definitely going to happen. It needs to happen. This year we lost a ton of money. I'm not going to say exactly how much, but we lost a ton of money this year. Thousands and thousands of dollars, more money than you can even imagine. Next year we're going to try to at least break even or lose a lot less money than we lost this year. In order to put this event on year after year after year, we do need some capital. We do need some investments. We do need to make some profit from the attendees from the ticket sales. So this past year we really only had tickets on sale for about 3 months. Going into 2019, we should have tickets on sale for about 5 months. So give us an extra 5 months or extra 2 months to sell some tickets. And this year we really only had an idea. All the people that came to the event bought tickets because they believed in a vision. They believed in the idea of the Fruit Festival, of the Canada Fruit Festival. There was just a plot of land and an idea. And we said, look, we're going to bring a bunch of people to this plot of land. We're going to have some music. We're going to have some presenters. We're going to have a bunch of food. Here's the ticket price. Do you want to come? And we had the most people sign up for this Fruit Festival during its opening year than any other Fruit Fest opening year. Keep getting a call from Nebraska. Who's this? Hello? Oh, it's a PayPal number. I'm supposed to get that. That was the other thing. Payments. A lot of people at the actual venue wanted to buy merchandise, and a lot of people didn't have cash. So one of the issues was getting payments from people. So we set up a little Square card swipe reader, and that actually worked out really well. So we'll definitely do that again from day one next time. But where was I going with this? Oh yeah. Next year we need to either sell more tickets or lower the expenses going into this festival, because we can't just keep on putting out tons of money, losing money year after year after year this festival. But I talked to a bunch of festival organizers. A lot of them said that, hey, it's no problem. The first year of any Fruit Fest is totally normal to lose money. The second year it's totally normal to lose money. The third year is normal to lose money. The fourth year you might break even. But we'd really just like to keep putting on an amazing event. And the only way to do that is if we have enough capital to do that. If we lose this much money again next year and we don't get any sort of sponsorship funding or any sort of government grant funding or something, then I'm not sure if this festival can keep going on, which would be a shame because it's such an awesome event. And that was really the focus, that was really the vision for this year, just to put on an amazing event. Whether we break even or whether we lose money or whether we make some money, it didn't really matter to me. I just wanted to put on an amazing event this year, make sure everyone had a good time, and I think for the most part that happened. So tickets are going to be going on sale for next year, starting March 1st. And before March 1st, you're going to see a lot of really cool content from the Canada Fruit Fest. You're going to see a documentary, you're going to see a promo video, you're going to see tons of pictures, tons of little clips, tons of little interviews with people or with people, really showing you what happened at the Fruit Festival. Because like I said, before this year, all we had was an idea. We just had an idea of what was going to happen. And now going into next year, we actually have proof of what happened and proof of what can happen again next year. So it's more of like a thing now. Canada Fruit Fest is a thing, and people usually wait until things are things before they jump on board. So it's like with any app. Facebook was kind of weird at first, no one got on it. Now it's a thing, everyone's on it. Snapchat was really weird at first, then it became a thing and everyone got on it. Instagram, same thing. YouTube, same thing. A lot of things aren't cool, aren't catchy enough, trendy enough to get on board until they're actually things. Fruit festivals are slowly becoming a thing. Way more people are jumping on board. So I want Canada Fruit Fest to be a big thing next year, and I think we got enough photos, enough videos to make that happen. So again, thank you so much for watching this video. Next time that call comes in, I really got to get it, so I got to bounce off the video right here. Really appreciate you watching this. If you have any questions, comments, send me a email if it's super important. I'll do my best to get back to you ASAP. hello@canadafruitfest.ca. We are looking for team members. If you want to join the Canada Fruit Fest team, if you want to help out with volunteering, if you want to help out with the admin team, you want to help out behind the scenes, you want to help out remotely from wherever you are, you want to help out with promoting the event, please get in contact with me. We'd love to talk. And that's it, that's all. I'm about to head over to Woodstock Fruit Fest tomorrow. If you want to come to Woodstock, you want to save $100, use the code COMEFRUIT yourself, and I'll see you there. But for now, adios, take care, much love, and hopefully I'll see you at the next Canada Fruit Fest next year. Peace.